What's my life like? Playing some quite good golf, playing a lot of golf. As anybody who knows me will say, I'm pretty competitive, and I found I was hitting a lot of greens, playing nicely, but not scoring very well. I was sort of experiencing quite high levels of anxiety on the greens. Having started with the NTEL belt, within 2 or 3 weeks, it's effective every time I play golf. Anybody who struggles under pressure, I would say, they're going to find benefit, pretty much immediately. Yeah, my name's David Ford. Most people know me as Fordy. I've been playing golf for longer than I'd like to recall, but close to 40 years, mostly down at Royal North Devon, also known as Westwood Ho, where I started playing in the late 80s, and I've sort of been in love with the game ever since. Throughout the years, I've been lucky enough to be able to play, pretty well, and rack up a few club championships along the way as well. As anybody who knows me will say, I'm pretty competitive. So how did I get to using the NTEL belt? Well, it kind of came to a head maybe 2-3 years ago. I was playing more golf then, playing some pretty decent golf and hitting the ball pretty well, hitting a lot of greens, sort of 15 greens in a round, but scoring particularly poorly. You start to blame your putting. So I was looking at new putters, looking at technique, going to see putting coaches, and wasn't really seeing any progress. And through the work with Clipped, and we were obviously testing a lot of different technologies, by combining a GPS tracker that I was using for my sort of rounds on the golf course, and also combining a health monitor I was wearing, we saw pretty much straight away that as soon as I was stepping foot on the greens, my heart rate was going through the roof. And essentially I had an anxiety issue when I was putting. Initially, my reason for using the NTEL belt was purely for on the golf course to help with my anxiety on the greens. And, I quickly sort of realized that, it could do a lot more than that. And I started using NTEL to really train my breathing, which, some people might sound a little bit ridiculous, but it's hugely effective just by using it sort of 10 minutes a day. It's really helped me to get myself into a place where I can really function, particularly on the golf course. I can now sort of channel my breathing very quickly, perform, much better. And there's obviously other benefits as well. I feel a lot better since I've been using the NTEL belt, just through, kind of knowing how to breathe properly. Really helps you to get into a sort of more comfortable state of mind, a position of focus. And it really helped me to not let things sort of get on top of me, if that makes sense. On the golf course, there's a lot of opportunities to just stand there while someone else is hitting a shot. And so just getting a couple of these breaths in from the diaphragm really helped to lower the heart rate and kind of alleviate a lot of the sort of the mind rushing away from itself. And particularly, with putting, as I spoke about, it gave me the chance to really just focus on performing the putt rather than thinking about the negative elements that had kind of held me back before. Yeah, I think it's incredibly useful to have the NTEL sessions being logged in Clipped, and everything else in Clipped, really, because as golfers we naturally create these narratives in our heads about how we've played or what our game looks like, but really being able to validate things with data. And so being able to see that I've been doing this training with my NTEL belt for however long it's been, and I certainly feel better on the golf course, but when I can actually point to scoring and particularly for me putting trending upwards in the right direction, then it gives me great confidence that I'm doing the right things. And I think that's where data can be so valuable, and Clipped really does a great job with that, is putting it in that one place and just helping to give you that validation. So I'm David Ford from Clipped. I work with all the players and coaches. I couldn't be more excited about our first health integration being Neuropeak's NTEL BELT.
Nippy, nippy, nippy!